How much do our bodies influence the paths we walk in life? And is it possible to rise above physical limits to rewrite our own destinies? Across Africa, there are individuals who refuse to be defined by physical challenges, transforming adversity into stories of strength and perseverance. Today, we explore 20 inspiring journeys of remarkable people whose determination continues to uplift and motivate. Have you ever encountered someone who pushed beyond physical boundaries? If yes, leave a 1. If not, comment 0. Don't forget to subscribe to support more meaningful stories like these. For most people, growing up belongs to childhood memories. But for Sulemana Abdul Samed in Ghana, growth is an ongoing reality rather than a metaphor. His height sets him apart in extraordinary ways, earning him the affectionate nickname Awuche in the town of Gambaga. At his most recent medical check, he measured approximately 9 feet 6 inches, about 2.89 meters tall, and doctors believe he may still be growing. Medical specialists suspect acromegaly, a rare condition involving excessive growth hormone. Yet this story goes far beyond measurements. It is about living each day with uncommon challenges. Life in a small community is rarely designed for circumstances this complex. Awuche faces severe spinal curvature, swelling in his limbs, and ongoing physical discomfort. During his first formal height measurement, healthcare workers reportedly ran out of measuring tape and had to call for more, leaving the clinic stunned by the final result. Despite constant health struggles and public attention, he continues to show remarkable optimism. More than simply enduring, Awuche is learning how to navigate life on his own terms, becoming a quiet symbol of resilience in northern Ghana. In a world often driven by appearance and rigid beauty standards, Joyce Addo, widely known online as Busty GH, has transformed public attention into an expression of confidence. Her appearance has drawn widespread interest, but behind the viral images is a deeply human story. In an open interview on SVTV Africa, Joyce shared personal experiences about how her body sometimes creates real physical difficulties, including moments that affect her daily comfort and perception. Through honesty and self-acceptance, she challenges conventional ideas of beauty and reminds others that confidence begins with embracing one's own reality. Long before the era of viral clips and social media fame, before TikTok and Instagram shaped public attention, the world already had living legends. Gabriel Mangane was one of them. Standing at an astonishing 8 feet 0.75 inches, nearly 2.46 meters, he was not only the tallest man in Mozambique, but in 1988 was officially recognized by Guinness World Records as the tallest living man on Earth. Born in 1944, Gabriel's extraordinary height was caused by acromegaly, a rare hormonal condition related to abnormal growth. By his teenage years, it was clear he was far beyond simply tall. His body followed a path unlike anyone around him. Yet this remarkable stature was not a gift of comfort, but a lifelong burden. Gabriel lived with constant pain and severe mobility limitations, where even walking required effort and endurance. Still, he found a way to transform difference into purpose. He traveled with circuses across regions, astonishing audiences and turning curiosity into livelihood. Away from the spotlight, however, reality was harsh. In a rural setting with limited medical care, his health steadily declined. After a serious fall at home in 1990, he never fully recovered and passed away at just 46 years old. Though his life was brief, his legacy remains powerful proof that presence can outlast time. So what does patience truly look like? In Kenya, it is embodied by John Waweru, a man known for his extraordinarily long, carefully preserved fingernails. Holding an unofficial African record, he has grown them for more than 25 years, with each nail extending beyond 30 centimeters. These are not mere curiosities, but living symbols of commitment shaped slowly through years of care. To some, they seem unusual. To John, they represent pride, discipline, and identity. There are no special treatments behind them, only constant attention and remarkable caution. Everyday tasks that most people never think twice about, from buttoning clothes to eating or holding a phone, require careful adjustment. Convenience was exchanged for devotion. Through local media, John became quietly known not only for his nails, but for his resolve to live authentically. His story reminds us that patience is not passive. It is a deliberate choice to honor one's path, no matter how different it may appear to the world. The world is built around average proportions, but Brahim Takiyullah has never fit that mold. Born in Morocco, Brahim holds the Guinness World Record for the largest living feet on Earth. Finding shoes is not a simple inconvenience for him. His European size, 58 feet, measure over 1 foot 3 inches, about 38.1 centimeters long, a size unavailable in any regular store. Every pair must be custom-made by medical orthopedists at enormous cost. And his feet are only part of the story. Brahim stands an astonishing 8 feet 1 inch tall, about 2.46 meters. Like Gabriel Monjane, Brahim's extreme height is the result of acromegaly caused by a tumor affecting his pituitary gland. Born in 1982, he didn't notice anything unusual until adulthood, when his body suddenly began to change rapidly. By the age of 18, he had grown dramatically. Surgery later halted further growth, but his size remained. Daily life still presents constant reminders that the world isn't designed for him. Doorways, cars, beds, and furniture all require adjustment. Yet Brahim moves through life with patience, dignity, and remarkable inner strength. Some people are remembered for how tall they were. Manute Bol is remembered for how deeply he cared. When Manute stepped onto the NBA court at 7 feet 7 inches, 2.31 meters, he was unforgettable. A member of the Dinka tribe of Sudan, one of the tallest ethnic groups in the world, his wingspan stretched an incredible 8 feet 6 inches, 2.59 meters, allowing him to block shots with ease. He became a defensive force in basketball history. But Manute Bol's greatest impact was never confined to sports. He poured nearly all of his NBA earnings into humanitarian work for South Sudan, a country devastated by war. Manute funded schools, hospitals, and orphanages, personally traveling into dangerous regions to deliver aid. Reports suggest he nearly exhausted his fortune helping others. Over time, his health declined, worsened by illness and the toll of constant travel. Manute Bol passed away in 2010. Though remembered as one of the tallest players ever to enter the NBA, his true legacy stands far taller, defined by compassion, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to humanity. Hair is never just hair. It carries memory, identity, and the silent language of culture passed down through generations. For the Mbalantu women of Namibia, hair is a living archive of heritage. For centuries, these women have been known for growing some of the longest natural hair ever documented in Africa, often cascading all the way to the ground. This remarkable feature is not the result of chance, but of devotion to tradition. From early childhood, girls begin a sacred care ritual known as Iambuvi, where their hair is gently braided and treated with a natural mixture of oils, herbs, tree bark, and ochre-rich earth, preserving both strength and meaning. These flowing ground-length strands are far more than an expression of beauty. They represent womanhood, social standing, and the passage through life's milestones. As a girl transitions into adulthood, her hair is reshaped into elaborate styles during important ceremonies such as initiations and weddings. Today, however, modernization and outside influences have caused this practice to slowly fade, with only a few women continuing the tradition. Still, the stories, photographs, and oral histories of Namibia's so-called Rapunzel women remain powerful reminders of a culture where identity was literally woven strand by strand. For countless young athletes, the NBA represents the ultimate dream. For Abiodun Adegoke from Nigeria, that dream stands on an entirely different scale. Towering between 7 feet 9 inches and 7 feet 11 inches tall, he is among the tallest basketball prospects the world has ever seen. Yet what truly surprises scouts is not his height, but his fluid movement. He glides across the court with a speed and coordination rarely associated with such size. When footage emerged of Abiodun dunking effortlessly without leaving the ground, it spread instantly across the internet. The moment captured global attention, even astonishing NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal. Overnight, the world turned its gaze toward this young Nigerian talent, but the path forward has been anything but simple. Accessing proper training, custom footwear, and medical care suited to his body has been a constant struggle. Still, Abiodun presses on with unwavering determination. He is not chasing success for himself alone. He carries the aspirations of a nation and reminds millions that no dream is ever too large to pursue. The name Kaman Maluash is one the world is only beginning to recognize. While most teenagers are still dreaming about their future, this young athlete is already standing on the international stage. At just 17 years old, he has become a crucial member of South Sudan's national basketball team, competing against seasoned professionals at the FIBA World Cup and Olympic qualifying tournaments. Towering at 7 feet 2 inches, 2.18 meters, and still growing common, like the legendary Manuda Bowl, comes from the Dinka tribe, known for producing some of the tallest people on Earth. Growing up amid conflict and instability in South Sudan, the basketball court became both Kaman Maluach's refuge and his pathway forward. With guidance and opportunity from the NBA Africa Academy, his raw physical potential has evolved into a complete skill set. He is not defined by height alone. His ball control, shooting ability, and sharp basketball intelligence have earned him the rare label of a unicorn prospect. Yet what truly distinguishes Kaman is his sense of purpose. Every game he plays represents more than personal ambition. It symbolizes hope for a young nation determined to rise beyond its past. Kaman's journey is not just a sports story, but a reflection of resilience, vision, and responsibility beyond his years. If his path moved, you leave a comment below and share his story so others can feel the power of determination in action. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us for more remarkable human stories. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. For most people, owning shoes or sleeping comfortably is something never questioned. For Charles Sogli from Ghana's Volta region, these everyday comforts are distant privileges. Standing over 7 feet 2 inches tall, Charles is recognized as the tallest man in his community. But that height comes at a heavy cost. His feet are so large that standard footwear is impossible to find, often forcing him to walk barefoot. This is more than inconvenience. It exposes him to constant risk, discomfort, and health concerns, turning a physical trait into a daily struggle for dignity and safety. His mother remembers carrying him for nearly 10 months, sensing even before his birth that her child was different. From the moment Charles came into the world, his growth never seemed to slow. As the years passed, his height continued to rise far beyond what anyone expected. Charles does not seek attention or recognition, nor does he chase fame. His story speaks softly yet powerfully as a call for empathy. What he hopes for is simple access to proper medical care and a pair of custom-made shoes that would allow him to walk without pain or danger. His life quietly reminds us how easily we overlook the basic comforts we often assume are guaranteed. How many people can claim they were both a national athlete and a cinematic presence in a film by legendary director Federico Fellini? Suleiman Ali Nashnoush of Libya stands as one of the most extraordinary figures of the 20th century. Born in 1943 with gigantism, he eventually reached a towering height of 8 feet .5 inches or more than 2.45 meters. Rather than allowing his condition to define or limit him, Suleiman transformed it into strength. On the basketball court, he became a dominant force, proudly representing Libya as a member of the national team. Hussein Saad carried more than the weight of acromegaly, he also carried the scars of conflict. Once recognized as the tallest living man in the world at 7 feet 7.5 inches, his remarkable stature was caused by a rare hormonal disorder that also gave him some of the largest hands ever recorded. Born in Somalia, Hussein was forced to flee civil war, seeking safety and stability in the United Kingdom. Yet even there, new struggles awaited him. Severe health complications, isolation, and limited mobility in a world never designed for someone of his size became part of his daily reality. Now in his 40s, Hussein lives in a care facility dependent on constant assistance. Still, his spirit remains resilient. In a recent public message, he chose not to speak for himself alone, but for others who are vulnerable and unheard. He called for dignity, understanding, and compassion. Though his body once set records, it is his courage and humanity that leave the deepest impression. With a reported height of 7 feet 10.5 inches, 2.4 meters, Munir Fourar was once recognized as the tallest man in Algeria and the second tallest person in the world. Yet behind this extraordinary statistic lay a life marked by hardship and quiet isolation. Munir was not born unusually large. His childhood was entirely ordinary until the age of 12. That was when a rare disorder of the pituitary gland suddenly altered his life, triggering uncontrollable growth. As his body stretched far beyond normal limits, daily existence became increasingly painful. Simple acts, such as walking, resting, or even sleeping, turned into exhausting challenges, endured silently while the world looked on in amazement. The Tutsi people of Rwanda and Burundi have long been noted for their tall, slender physical appearance, with average male heights often exceeding 1.80 meters. Yet their story extends far beyond physical traits. Historically, the Tutsi were pastoralists, closely connected to cattle herding and the royal systems of their societies. Over generations, a combination of environment, nutrition, and genetics may have shaped their distinctive stature. But height is only a surface detail in a much deeper historical narrative. Tragically, this visible difference was manipulated and exploited during colonial and post-colonial periods, turning identity into a tool of division. This culminated in the devastating Rwandan genocide of 1994, one of the darkest moments in modern history, where countless Tutsi lives were lost. Today, Tutsi communities continue the long process of rebuilding and healing. Their story is no longer defined by appearance, but by resilience, by survival remembrance, and the strength to rise again after unimaginable loss. Across the vast, flood-prone plains of South Sudan, the Dinka people live closely tied to their land cattle and seasonal rhythms. They are widely regarded as the tallest ethnic group in Africa, and possibly the world, with average male heights often reaching around 6 feet 4 inches, 1.93 meters. This remarkable stature is not accidental. Rooted in generations of cattle herding a protein-rich diet centered on milk and dairy and unique genetic factors, their height reflects adaptation rather than anomaly, an expression of how human bodies can evolve in harmony with environment and tradition. It is widely believed that the tall, slender build of the Dinka people has been shaped over thousands of years. Their height is not merely a physical trait, but a reflection of cultural identity closely tied to pride, lineage, and heritage. Yet their history is also marked by endurance. The Dinka have survived decades of war displacement and hardship, from rural communities in South Sudan to global arenas as seen through figures such as Manute Bol and Kaman Maluak. Their legacy continues to reach far beyond borders, standing as a powerful symbol of resilience and hope. Recognizable by their vivid red shuka garments, strong warrior traditions, and commanding presence, the Maasai people of Kenya and northern Tanzania are far more than cultural icons. They stand with unmistakable stature and confidence. With an average male height of around 6 feet 3 inches, 1.90 meters, and many surpassing it, the Maasai embody physical strength shaped by tradition. Their pastoral lifestyle, centered on milk meat and cattle blood, combined with constant physical activity, has contributed to their powerful build. Their presence alone leaves a lasting impression. When the Maasai perform the Adumu, the iconic vertical jumping dance, it becomes more than movement. It is a ritual that expresses strength, courage, and the transition into warriorhood. Each leap honors ancestry and communal pride. Despite mounting pressures from modernization, land conflicts, and outside influence, the Maasai remain deeply committed to preserving their way of life. They represent a living culture where tradition adapts to change, yet core values remain firmly intact. In Lagos, Nigeria, Afeez-Agoro Oladimeji is widely known as the tallest man in the country, standing at 7 feet 4 inches, 2.24 meters. His life illustrates the profound challenges of living with gigantism. Afeez was not born unusually tall. His growth remained typical until the age of 19, when his body began expanding rapidly. Diagnosed with acromegaly, he soon faced daily obstacles. Public transportation became impossible, doorways too small, and clothing and footwear required custom solutions. His height, while remarkable, transformed ordinary life into a constant test of adaptation and endurance. Talent reveals itself in countless forms, and for Francisco Domingo Joaquim, widely known as Chiquinho from Angola, it appears through an unforgettable smile. Francisco holds the official Guinness World Record for the widest mouth in the world. This is not a simple party trick. His jaw can open to an astonishing width of 6.69 inches, 17 centimeters. Wide enough to hold a full soda can horizontally, his ability surprised even medical experts. Born in Sambizanga, Francisco first realized his unusual gift as a teenager when friends noticed that his smile seemed to defy all expectations. She does not wear a crown, she grows one. Asha Zulu Mandela is the woman known for having the longest dreadlocks in the world, a record she has carried for many years. Official measurements in 2018 placed her hair at over 55 feet, nearly 17 meters, though she believes it has continued to grow. Born in Trinidad and Tobago and later settling in the United States, Asha's journey began more than 4 decades ago as a spiritual decision. Her hair was never meant to attract attention. It was an outward expression of inner transformation. Over time, that personal vow evolved into a living symbol of devotion and identity. Yet this commitment carries real physical weight. Her dreadlocks weigh more than 25 pounds, especially when wet, and doctors have cautioned that such strain could affect her spine. Still, Asha refuses to cut them. To her, the locks are not decoration, they are strength healing and self-definition. She once explained that cutting her hair would feel like losing a part of her soul. Like a real-life Rapunzel, she has chosen her own path and remains unwavering in that choice. Deep within the Nile River Valley, alongside their Dinka neighbors, live the Nuer people of South Sudan, another of Africa's tallest ethnic groups. With average male heights frequently exceeding 6 feet 1.83 meters, their stature reflects a long history of environmental and cultural adaptation. Traditionally, cattle herders, the Nuer, structure their lives around livestock. Milk is not merely nourishment, but a sacred element of daily life. This protein-rich diet, combined with inherited traits, is believed to have shaped their remarkable height across countless generations, linking body culture and land into a single living legacy. What truly distinguishes them, much like the tribes that live alongside them, is their ability to protect identity through generations of hardship. The Nuer people have lived through civil war displacement and political fragmentation, yet their traditions and sense of belonging have endured. Their pride is preserved not only in everyday customs, but in moments of great adversity. They stand tall not merely in physical height, but in spirit. From professional basketball arenas where Nuer athletes leave their mark to the quiet villages of South Sudan, from global record books to the unseen struggles of daily survival, their strength remains rooted in community heritage and shared belief. These 20 stories are not measurements of size alone. They are narratives of endurance, of lives shaped by the extraordinary, and of the limitless capacity of the human spirit. Each one reminds us that destiny is not defined by circumstance, but by response. Limits are not fixed. They are challenged, reshaped, and often overcome. Through resilience and courage, these individuals have done more than break records. They have written powerful stories of perseverance and hope. Thank you for being part of this journey. Share with us which story stayed with you the most, and we look forward to meeting you again as we continue to uncover more remarkable human stories.